On this episode of Designing Spaces, ideas to beautify your spaces inside and out. The latest in cooling, heating, and electric for your home. Technologies underground that make your home function, and you might not even know they're there. Solar energy solutions that save you money. Plus, veterans fixing water leak issues, painting and countertop ideas, generating curb appeal, and lots more. We are Designing Spaces, just for you. Let's go. We all love living in Florida, but have you ever struggled with finding an air conditioning company that you can trust? Here are some tips from the pros at Anthony's Cooling, Heating, and Electrical.
We make sure that our clients are extremely happy with what we've done, how we present ourselves in their home, how we carry ourselves, and how we follow up and make sure that they are delighted with what we've done.
Started by Mike's dad in 1988, Anthony's takes pride in the fact that they never sell their customers things they don't need.
When I first got into air conditioning, I knew that the best way to take care of a customer was to make it work one more time. And after I lost my father, I knew that in order to grow the company, I was going to have to generate clientele. And the best way to generate the clientele was to continue to fix things that other people couldn't or wouldn't. I've never believed in commissioning service technicians. I believe in technicians that take their time to do what's right, to spend the time to make it work.
We're just very satisfied with the work that they have done and satisfied with what they tell us, and we just think that they're great.
Customers don't really know how old their air conditioners are, so many times we'll go out to an air conditioning system that are, in some instances, 42 years old, and we can get it going one more time. It buys the client a little time to put the money together. It gives us an opportunity to schedule the job so it's not under duress. We try not to create a sense of urgency for our clients where one doesn't really need to exist.
We had 2 units replaced recently, and they took them out, brought the new ones in, and did a fantastic job, and it looks like they never even came through. I mean, it was beautiful, and they work great. But we've been very happy with them for years. Our
motto is, you don't need new until we say you do.
Being a contractor, I just like the honesty. I like when someone comes into our house to service it, I can tell right away that they know what they're doing.
As an Air Force veteran, Mike knows the importance of integrity, and that's why many of the folks he hires are veterans too.
One of the things that I like most about veterans is they have an affinity to finish the job. They have an affinity to pay attention to detail. They have an affinity to make sure that things work well when they're finished.
And they believe in paying it forward.
Our industry and many of the trades are severely in need of well-trained young people. Cool School was really a thought that I had many years ago. We like to focus on taking young people and teaching them something that nobody else has taught them before, because we feel that we're going to teach them the right way.
And while their name might say it all, their other services also go above and beyond cooling, heating, and electrical.
We believe that the house is an envelope, and we need to know more about things that are not just related to air conditioning. So we focus on the electrical side of the house, the plumbing side of the house. We know that even the attic and the ductwork and the roof, all of these things play into how the house works as a whole. So you can't just be an air conditioning guy and go out and fix people's homes. You've got to understand the entire building envelope, and that's what we train at Anthony's.
Want to know more about Anthony's Cooling, Heating, and Electrical? Visit anthonysairconditioning.com or designingspaces.tv.
Mistakes are expensive, and second opinions are free at Anthony's.
Did you know that the communities in which we live, work, and play represent more than just what meets the eye? And what you don't see is even more important than what you do. Meet New Strategy Holdings.
We are a land developers, and we develop lands for our national builders to be able to build homes for our communities. It's a local business. I mean, we do work around Central Florida, and I enjoy being around my family, and they're all in this business, and that's what I'm happy about.
When you're buying a home from a builder or hire a builder to build your home, you might think the builder does everything. Nope.
Land development is so essential because a lot of people, when they purchase a house, they don't think of what happened prior to building a home. It's a piece of land, it's a raw land that we have to engineer, we have to work it through rezoning, we have to make sure it's suitable to build a subdivision. We are the parks, we are the amenities, we are the roads, the sidewalks, the pool, we are the bridges, we are everything before you build a house.
Once we get the permits in place and we get all the approvals from the various jurisdictions we're dealing with, we then have to build it. We have to implement the vision that we created long ago. To do so, we hire site contractors and various people like that start from the raw ground and come up. We do everything from putting the plumbing in the ground, putting all the piping down there to do all the roads, and then we augment the vision by putting in the landscaping, putting in the amenities, putting in the things that direct people's lives other than just the house.
Once we know the land is suitable, it's got to go through, again, engineers. It's going to go to submit plans to the county or to the city. And once it's approved, then where the physical work is, that's where the equipment comes in. And those are subcontractor site developers. They do a lot of work around, and once the lots are finished, which is about a year, maybe sometimes a year and a half, that's where national builders come in and they hook their homes to sewer, water, electricity cable, what have you, that we already have in the ground.
It can take up to 3 years to prepare the land so that homes can be as functional as they are fantastic. They say the horizontal work is more difficult than the vertical work.
If we don't do the underground part right, they can't flush, they can't take a shower, they can't turn on the electricity, they can't use their Wi-Fi. All of that has to go in prior to the house ever being built, and all of it has to be right, or it's not safe, it's not serviceable, you can't live there. We do all of these things to make it a good environment. We're just good.
They've developed the land for over 60 properties throughout Central Florida.
The value that I think that we bring is the combination of our experience and our professionalism. We choose people that we've worked with for years on many projects, and we do that so that we know what to expect. We know how they're going to react during the time, because like you said, it can take 3 years. And if it takes 3 years, you've got to be able to work together with everybody to create the vision, to create the environment, to create the opportunity for the home builder to come in and build his homes and create a life for the families that are going to ultimately live there.
Basically, it is not magic, it is an art.
Want to know more about New Strategy Holdings? Visit newstrategyholdings.com, and of course, visit us at designingspaces.tv. Home generators are a great way to save energy, resources, and money. After all, they don't run on electricity, they create it. Want to know how? Watch this.
At Suncoast Power Solutions, we install Generac standby generators as our main focus. We are, however, full-service electrical contractors. We do install vehicle charging stations, we do wiring for new homes, and of course, we service and maintain every Generac generator that we install. Obviously, here in Florida, there's a constant demand for standby generators due to our prevalent power outages. Hurricanes, tropical storms, or just sometimes failures from utility companies.
Suncoast Power Solutions has been installing and servicing generators for over 20 years.
We started with Generac generators in the early 2000s and have been installing them ever since with a steady 25% growth annually. Generac is chosen 7-1 over the competition, mainly for the reason that they do provide power when you need it, and they are a very reliable source of energy. if you had an outage that was maybe on your block, and this homeowner had a generator to where your neighbor would not, his lights, his refrigerator, his air condition would be fully functional where the neighbor next door would not be. This installation is a 22 kW or kilowatt generator through Generac Power Systems. It is a whole house managed load system to where should the power ever be turned off by the utility, the generator will start up and restore power to the entire house within 10 seconds. At Suncoast Power Solutions, we have the ability to do everything in-house or inside our office, from setting the generator to installing the generator electrically, and also to provide the fuel source connection from the generator to the natural gas meter or the propane tanks, whether they be new, installed by us, or existing when the customer already has one.
When you think about losing power, it's more than just going without lights and air conditioning. Brian explains.
When you lose power nowadays, it's not just about losing the food in your refrigerator. Creature comforts that we take advantage of are then lost. Nowadays, we have electric vehicles that require car charging. They require power to charge those vehicles, so a generator will provide backup power for that. Air conditions, as far as central heat and air, they don't only keep you cool, but they keep humidity out of the house, which helps resist mildew or mold from growing inside of the house. Security systems are another good reason to have a home standby generator. Most of the older systems had battery backups. Some of the newer systems rely on the power grid and a live modem in order to report back to the surveillance companies. When preparing to install a home by generator, you never want to wait till the last minute. Don't wait till those summer months. It's always best to get started early in the year. That way the generator's installed for storm season. The permit process is very grueling in the generator industry. We must go through zoning, plumbing, electrical, flood, and all of these departments have an oversight of the generator.
Those who invest in their own generator are also setting themselves up for the future.
The need for generators or automatic standby generators has never been greater. We rely on tablets these days, whether it's to babysit our children or to get our work done. Storms are getting stronger. We're seeing more outages. Our Department of Energy has recently been given the grade of an F with not appropriate dollars set aside to enhance this utility grid. So generators are not going anywhere, and if it were up to me, I would have one in every home.
Want to know more about what Suncoast Power Solutions can do for you? Visit suncoastpowersolutions.com and visit us at designingspaces.tv. Water and mold damage in your home or business can be a battle that needs to be faced head-on. Luckily, there's a company right here in the Tampa area with veterans at the helm who are ready for combat. Let's watch.
VetCor is a restoration company. We help solve water and mold-related challenges, other things like fire damage, temporary roof tarping, duct cleaning, things like that, in commercial and residential properties. But the thing that makes us different and unique is that we do it by primarily deploying veterans of the U.S. military. I am a retired Army officer, Army engineer officer. I went to West Point and graduated in 1990. Spent 23 years on active duty. I had 4 combat tours in Iraq. The founder of the company, David Howard, is the guy that originally hired me to start, so it was his idea. And he wanted to do something to assist veterans. At the time, back in 2013, the veteran unemployment rate was remarkably high. From that point forward, it's just taken off. When you think about it, when's the last time you had a service call of any kind, and what did they tell you they were going to be there? Typically, you hear like 8 to 12 or 4-hour window. We don't give time windows, we give times. And for veterans, showing up on time is late and early is on time. And so those types of things, those values, just make it a great fit for veterans.
VetCor specializes in water damage mitigation, mold remediation, fire and smoke damage mitigation, deep cleaning and disinfecting, hurricane and catastrophic event response, and more.
Just about any type of service that would require an insurance claim. Scott and I like to say it's science, but it's not rocket science.
Well, mold can be a problem. Mold is really a result secondary damage from initial water loss. Mold is part of the normal ecology of any particular home, but when an event occurs that causes elevated mold spores when the conditions are right, well, then it can cause adverse conditions to the indoor air quality. So it's important to keep that in check. As a licensed assessor, I can tell you that visually means nothing. It's not mold unless it tests positively for mold through formal testing. It can come in a variety of colors, different types of mold spores, and there are many, come in different colors, shapes, the way they will appear, what causes them.
They do it with the use of the latest technology and skills learned while in the military.
My time in the military, as a young engineer, I spent 23 years total. The last part, really the senior years of my military career, were in operations. And my role as the Chief Operating Officer in Team VetCor is to establish the policies and procedures and training and methods for our technicians to use when they perform mold remediation or any of our emergency services. Technology for mold remediation is pretty simple. It is a process. So when there is visible microbial growth, and it's identified positively as microbial growth, our first responsibility is to remove that from the home, remove it from the interior environment. That's typical tools of the trade, removing damaged materials. All the while that we do this, we have engineering controls in place to prevent cross-contamination for uncontaminated areas. That includes HEPA, high-efficiency particulate air filters, to create negative air pressure to contain the area, and HEPA-Vac. So we use a HEPA-Vac to vacuum up all the particles and sanitize essentially the entire affected area. So the processes are the same, whether it's a commercial loss or a residential loss. Some of the equipment might be a bit bigger that we use and more geared towards commercial losses, but the procedures for mitigation of a water damage or remediation of mold damage or fire and smoke damage, those procedures are the same regardless if it's commercial or residential. So we can handle both.
We started this business, first of all, the transition. We had to go to school and study a lot of things that are different than our military service. One of those is customer service. Even though we're service oriented, we never had to measure customer service in the military. So I studied the science of surveys, we developed a survey, and typically people won't fill out a survey after the fact. So what we do, create a simple survey, 10 questions, and we provide it to the insured customer as we're leaving, picking up our equipment, say, would you please fill this out? It takes about 30 seconds. As a result of that, 95% of our customers are exceptionally satisfied with the technician who comes to perform their service, that veteran.
And the best part is that they're here for you 24/7.
We can't predict when water losses or fire damage is going to occur in someone's home, so we have to be ready at all times. That really suits our military team members. It's in their DNA to help folks, and time is irrelevant, so it doesn't matter when it occurs. Our teams are available 24/7 when the call comes.
VetCor is a company with a cause and a company on a mission. That's why they're now offering franchises to veterans.
Our vision is to become the premier private employer of veterans throughout the United States through our franchise system, and also develop the brand known for timely, quality, reliable service and the value of veterans. So now we offer franchises to veterans and their immediate family members. That's our target, but we'll offer a franchise, not sell, we award them, because it's got to be a good mutual fit for them and a good mutual fit for us, to franchises who embrace the same values that veterans do.
So we live and die by policies in the military, and we've taken that same process to establish the policies and procedures for our teams.
We're a company with a cause and a company on a mission, and what you get is people who show up fit, polite, on time, treat you with dignity and respect, explain what we're doing, take responsibility for what we do, but we get it right, we take care of the mission and our stakeholders always.
For more information about VetCor, visit vetcorservices.com, and of course visit us at designingspaces.tv. Is your smart home talking to you? Your roof, windows, siding, and gutters may be sending you messages that it's time to listen up. Here are some tips and tricks you'll want to know.
A lot of times, signs to act are going to be entailed for gutters, for instance. A lot of times what we'll see is the connections or the braces for the gutters starting to fail, and then the gutters actually starting to droop off the house. When it comes down to roofs, what we'll see is a lot of damage either from hail or it could be from any sort of storms that we've had. where the shingles start to dry out, they start to crack, they start to peel off. So first and foremost, obviously roofs we are very well known for and have been for a very long time, but it's a really problem solving and finding out exactly what we need to do to fix those problem areas, such as the gutters or siding the roofs.
So let's talk about your roof first. It might be the biggest investment you have in your home. That's why it's important to know what's going on.
Well, homeowners, as they are considering a new roof, obviously they're going to want to know certain types of details, such as what kind of underlayments are we using? How is my roof going to be protected? How are you going to fix these things? When it comes down to their problem areas, and especially with a lot of our homeowners, they don't necessarily know exactly what is going on with the roof. So if they see leaks on the inside of the house, they want to ask us, okay, well, where do you think this is coming from? Or what could this be stemming from? So obviously we need to figure out where those items are starting, so that way we can figure out where they're going to finish.
This entire roof is being replaced in just one day. So next, let's take a look at those windows. What are some of the signs that they need your attention?
When homeowners are looking at windows, a couple things they need to keep track of. They need to take a look at the seals on the inside around the frames, but also every once in a while taking a look at the seals on the outside of the house. Something as simple as that seal can allow a good amount of water into a wall and cause a lot more damage than what is expected.
What about those gutters? Maybe we should call them clutters.
Gutters can definitely be a clutter situation. And if you've ever, as a homeowner, if you've ever had to get out and actually try to clean your gutters, it is a kind of a grueling process after a little while. And they can get stacked up with so many leaves and pine needles and anything and everything that possibly might be around your house. So part of the reason why we use 6-inch aluminum gutters also, we also offer gutter guards. And we're also very specific in the way that we design the actual gutter system.
And let's not forget the siding. New siding can actually transform your home.
The visual impact of siding can really change the ideal of how your house looks. There's a lot of different designs that siding can come in. There's a load of different colors as well that are available to the homeowner. We are incredibly passionate about the way that we do roofs and the way that we do windows and the love that we put into siding. And again, it falls back to the details, but also our customer service has always been number one for us. It's really all about client relations, and it's really about building relationships with people. It's not just about coming in and doing a job.
Want to know more about Ridgetop Exteriors? Visit ridgetopexteriorsfl.com or designingspaces.tv.
At Polson Painting, we want to be your painter for life.
There are always lots of home improvement projects on the list. And when it comes to painting, there's no substitute for hiring the right team.
It's always very important to hire a professional that's going to service your house. It's your castle, you want it done right. So I learned my craft in high school. I started with my woodshop teacher. And in the summers, he would build houses and we would do painting, all aspects of the building. And one thing that sticks in mind is that he would say, always measure twice and cut once. To me, meaning, do it right the first time so you have to go back and do it again.
Quality is the most important thing to us. So it's not just about getting the job done, it's about getting the job done right.
Well, I've made the mistake of doing it myself over the years, and between the mistakes that I made as well as the aches and pains that I woke up with the next day, we really wanted to use some professionals.
Well, plus all of our projects that we've used Polson for have been large. We wouldn't be done yet if we did it ourselves. We'd still be painting.
It can be very tough painting your own house. Believe me, we've had customers call us who will stop halfway because they're too tired to do it and they don't want to deal with it anymore. They've been doing it every weekend for the past month and they just want it over with. So they'll call us to finish it.
So what should you know when it comes to hiring a licensed painter?
Polson Painting is a family-owned and operated company. We are here in the local area. Hillsborough County and Pasco counties are the areas that we serve.
I'd say about 60% of our clients are either repeat customers or referrals. Well, as Linda said, we had some big projects that we wanted to get done. So as we were looking at professionals, we got recommendations from some friends and they highly, highly recommended Polson Painting.
and if you want, you can go online to our website and you can request a quote, and you just click on a button and you enter all your information, and then it drops it into an email for our office to be able to respond the next day.
Okay, I start the day off by answering the emails from the previous day because our customers are extremely important to us. I then answer phones. I send out emails to our clients who've hired us already to give them information about their upcoming project.
Once there's a plan in place, think about your color options. The only rule is, there are no rules.
Well, that's what this segment's all about, right? Why not add a little color to your life? So, as you see here, we have an accent wall, and we have the main color in the back. You can see the depth that it gives you. The accent wall is going to change the mood of a room. Paint a ceiling if you don't want to paint the walls. That'll change the room's mood dramatically. It'll add, different features that you've never noticed before.
When painting the interior and exterior of your home, it's very important that you hire someone who pays attention to detail and someone who chooses high quality products. If you don't have both, then you're not going to get the long-term investment in your home that you really need.
And don't forget about the exterior.
When you're painting the outside of your home, doesn't matter who you hire, make sure they're going to pressure wash, patch all the cracks, recaulk your window frames. And most importantly, when they're applying the paint, make sure that if they're spraying it, that they're back rolling, because that's the most important, is the back roll. You want to push all the paint into the nooks and crannies and make it a nice uniform surface.
The outcome was amazing, and now when we look back and reflect on our befores, we kind of shake our heads and think, what were we thinking? Because it was such a big undertaking. But after Don and Poulsen came in and worked their magic, we're extremely happy.
They have to know that we care. We're there for them every step of the way through the entire project.
At Poulsen Painting, we want to be your painter for life.
For more information about Poulsen Painting, visit poulsenpainting.com or email them at service@poulsenpainting.com. And of course, visit us at designingspaces.tv. For more information on anything you've seen on today's show, or to be a part of the show, go to our website, designingspaces.tv.